The Hong Kong National Security Law stipulates only 4 types of offenses of secession, subversion, terrorist activities, and collusion to endanger national security to tackle the actual scenarios of national security threats that rocked Hong Kong in the period of disturbances and devastation. It stresses on the rule of law, including presumption of innocence, rights to defend, and no double jeopardy. Half of Chapter 1, the first and foremost chapter, focuses on and emphasizes protection of rights and freedoms. These are the fundamental principles a judge will take into consideration in any trial.
The NSL was then annexed to Schedule 3 of the Basic Law, which means that it is a national law which applies to Hong Kong. It is beyond dispute that the NSL was passed strictly in accordance with the law of the sovereign country.
In fact, many accusations on the implementation of the law are ungrounded. As to this date, no cases have been concluded and no accused persons are penalized. I would hope members of the international community and media will take a rational and objective approach in assessing the law and trust the independence of our common law judges.
Radical rioters in Hong Kong were responsible for many vicious incidents, including vandalizing the liaison office of the central government, storming the Legislative Council, damaging public facilities, beating up a journalist, biting off police fingers, setting an ordinary citizen on fire and killing another with bricks. I was one of the victims too. In October 2019, I was a candidate for a district council election. Just because I do not agree with the acts of the rioters, my election campaign office was under violent attack in the run-up to the election. With the national security law in place, I feel much safer, and that the election would not be hijacked by black-clad rioters ever again.
The government of the Lao PDR consistently upholds the principle of one China policy.
The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia supports the principle of one China policy, one country and 2 systems.
Every country has the right and indeed the responsibility to safeguard their national security by taking necessary legislative and administrative measures to ensure public order, security, and safety.
Frankly speaking, we suppose that this issue itself is just a sign of politicization of human rights and double standards in the work of Human Rights Council. That's why we oppose this.
And this is Total News in Hong Kong. Some might worry that the NSL might affect people's freedoms, while others say there can never be freedom without responsibilities and restraints. I want to ask about their comments on this.
You can criticize the government, you can say whatever you like, and that is what is allowed as freedom of speech in Hong Kong. However, acts are very different. If you do acts that break the law, then, of course, justice will demand that the person who breaks the law face justice.